Revenge films.
My name is Allison. My husband Hayes and I got married half a year ago. His house is in the neighboring city, only about an hour away by car. At the wedding, my in-laws behaved normally, but what I found out after getting married was that my mother-in-law loves her son a little too much. She still treats my husband like a baby. All Souls Day is fast approaching, and it's the first ever holiday that I'm spending with my in-laws since Hayes and I got married. Hayes received a call from his parents and he picked it up. I can hear loud and clear what the other person on the other end is saying. All Souls Day is almost here. When are you planning to come home? I'll be waiting here with your favorite food.
I don't think I can go this year because Allison can't come with me. It seems like she'll be quite busy at work during that time, so I'll just stay here and relax.
No, you should come. You can come even if Allison can't come, right?
Why only me? I don't want to come home alone. Allison and I will go home this Christmas and New Year. It's impossible to come home for All Souls Day this year.
I don't care if it's impossible. You should come home. Wives are expected to come home to their husband's house during national holidays, you know. Allison should follow that. She's being strange. Leave her and you should come home.
I told you that's impossible!
The heated dispute continued for a while. After 30 minutes of heated questioning and answering, Hayes released a huge sigh of relief. But he wears a worried expression on his face. However, a few days later, his mother called again, and another heated questioning and answering began. His mother doesn't budge, and Hayes is tired of the never-ending calls, so he gave in and said that we will go to his parents' house for All Souls Day. I decided to take a day off so I could go with him.
Really? Are you sure it's okay for you to take the day off? Won't it be a very busy day at your workplace?
Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. If we stay at your parents' house for one night, then we can leave the next morning. I'll be able to go to work in the afternoon. I've worked at a convenience store for several years now, and the manager of the store trusts me enough that he now has me in charge most of the time. My husband was worried about my work, but my manager will be at work that day, so there was no problem if I took a leave. Then, the date to visit my in-laws' house came. My mother-in-law was very happy to see her son. The moment we arrived at their house, she said, "I missed you so much, Hayes. Come in, come in." She was so focused on Hayes that it felt like she didn't even see me. My father-in-law, on the other hand, is a very kind person.
I'm sorry you had to come all the way here today because of my wife, even though you're very busy. Please, make yourself at home.
Look, you love this, right? I ordered this special dish especially for you.
Oh, really? Thanks, Mom. But why are there only 3? Allison's joining us today.
Oh, sorry about that. I heard that Allison is busy these days, so I thought that she wouldn't come. Huh? I clearly told her that I was coming, and I even sent her a message earlier saying that we're on our way to their house. I stayed calm, but I was raging inside.
Since there are only 3, I'll give this to you, Allison. You can have it.
What? Why are you giving it to Allison? I went all out and ordered this special eel dish for you.
Because you love this eel dish too, right, Allison? I remember you asking for more at the Japanese restaurant we went to a few months ago.
Yes, but... See? Even Allison says that she doesn't want it. So why don't you eat it, Hayes? How about we half it, Hayes? I can't eat that much anyway. See? She says she doesn't want it. You don't have to give it to her.
Get a hold of yourself! What's with your attitude since we got here? It's your fault for not ordering the right amount, Mom! She's not even complaining about it. But why do you keep on preventing her from eating it? That's right! That's very rude!
I was just... My mother-in-law showed a look of utter disbelief. After my husband and father-in-law aided me, they glared at me. Hayes and I ended up eating the eel dish together. Then, in the afternoon, Hayes and I then visited the grave of his ancestors together. It was my first time going to that part of the neighboring city, so the scenery was fresh to my eyes, and we stopped by different places of interest on our way back to his parents' house. When we arrived back to their house, we had dinner together as a family, and I took a warm bath after that. I was able to survive unscathed. Until that point. Just when I finally felt relieved and started to feel like home, my mother-in-law brought some sweet desserts from the kitchen. She cut that into pieces. I bought Castella cake from the Japanese confectionery store near the train station. You still love this, right? She then placed the plates with Castella cakes in front of her, Hayes, and her husband. She clearly didn't prepare anything for me, and she ignored me completely. This is so delicious. Japanese food is so good. You haven't taken a single bite yet, Hayes. What's the matter?
How can I eat when you haven't served Allison yet? Where's her plate with Castella?
Oh my, you're right. There is no Castella in front of her. I'm sorry, Allison, for only serving Castella enough for the three of us. There's more in the kitchen. You can go take some if you want to eat. Only the ends of the cake are left, though.
Get a hold of yourself! Do you think this is funny? Do you enjoy harassing her like this?
My father-in-law defended me, and of course he was enraged by my mother-in-law's behavior. My mother-in-law rejected me, saying that she only prepared for family members. That's when I finally had enough of her rudeness, so I spoke up. Mother-in-law, have you gone senile? Or are you just being plain mean? My mother-in-law was mumbling something under her breath, but she didn't look my way at all. She probably didn't expect that I would speak up and fight back. So I stared at her and continued. If you don't consider me as family, then after a few years from now, if you ever fall down and have difficulty getting up, there's no need for me to care about you, right? There's no way I would have to be your caregiver when you get older and require help, right? When I said that with a smile on my face, my mother-in-law's face grew paler and paler. She probably thought that if she bullied me, I would be disheartened and cry. But what happened is the complete opposite of her prediction. Because I'm the type of person who frankly says what I like and dislike, and say my opinion when I think someone is clearly wrong. The reason why I showed the frank side of me only after about half a year of being married is because I didn't want to create a weird divide between us. But how my mother-in-law treated me that day was just too much. If she doesn't treat me as family,
then I'm not a part of your family anymore either!
Too.
I won't come back to this house ever again!
Him, I'm going home now. But if you don't come home with me, I will file for divorce, Hayes, because I didn't agree to marry someone who has a mother complex. I then started packing my things.
Of course. I'll go home with you.
My husband responded and started packing his stuff as well. Wait a second! Hayes, are you angry with me? Are you choosing Allison instead of me?
Angry at you? Of course I am! Anybody would get angry if they were in my shoes!
But Hayes, wait a second!
The two of you should go back to your home now. Leave things up to me from here.
My mother-in-law tried to cling on to Hayes, but my father-in-law stepped in and stopped her. When Hayes and I arrived home, he apologized to me earnestly.
I'm really sorry, Allison. We should have come home earlier. I'm truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry you had to go through this.
Oh, well, I feel refreshed though, because I was able to say what I needed to say. Plus, you even believed me and said that you'd come home with me.
But did you really consider a divorce if I didn't come home with you? Well, I guess you're the type of person who would do that.
Of course I would.
You don't have to see my mother's face again. And I think I need some space from her too. And if necessary, we can move to a different house.
Just when Hayes and I were talking about what measures to take, my father-in-law called.
I'm truly sorry about how my wife behaved. Just as what my son said earlier, I think there's nothing I can do if he chooses to cut ties with us.
He uttered those words in a depressed tone. I'm sorry it had to be this way, but I don't plan on cutting ties with you. I just want to be considered a member of the family.
Of course I consider you as family. You really are a good wife. My son is a really lucky man.
Thank you for saying that. By the way, I think you're already aware because of today, but I'm the type of person who frankly says what I think, so from now on, I won't hold things back. Do you mind that?
No, I don't mind at all. I would appreciate it if you were more frank.
When I told him that, he was a bit surprised, but he laughed out of relief. He truly is a good person. After that, my mother-in-law was dumbfounded because of the shock she received when her husband cut ties with her. Rumors say that she shut herself in her room. After 3 months passed since the incident, Hayes and I gave it a shot and visited his parents' house. Then the moment my mother-in-law saw me, she reacted. Ah! No! She reacted like she saw a ghost or a monster. Mother-in-law, I've been trying to behave like the perfect wife, but I decided not to hold my feelings in anymore. So once again, I look forward to seeing more of you in the future. She then turned pale after I said those words. I understand. I won't say anything rude to you anymore. So please, forgive me. She was shaking so hard while asking for my forgiveness. My face at the time probably looked very scary because my mother-in-law never bullied me again. Instead, her body trembles with fear whenever she sees me. And thanks to that, she now asks me for my opinions and judgment.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.